responsible for managing change in an organization? Change management. Who the heck really even owns it? It can be really confusing trying to understand who's responsible for managing change versus making the change happen. Well, I've got some answers for you in this video. You ready to hear them? Let's get it. You're feeling lost about who's responsible for managing a big change you need to make happen in your organization. Do you need to hire a change management expert? Do you need to identify change management practitioners throughout the organization? Are these individuals any different from the people I need to make sure are making the change happen? This can be very exhausting and very confusing. Well, in this video, I'll talk about the importance of knowing the difference. Next, I'll define the tactical responsibilities that you really need to understand and assign someone to be responsible for. And lastly, I'll share with you what's missing around this whole conversation of change management and who owns it. Okay. So change needs to happen in your business or in your organization. The first part of making that change successful is identifying the roles and responsibilities around the change. Notably, who's going to be responsible for managing that change. You know, when we're leading through change or even executing change as an employee, it's important that we understand the role that we play in making that change successful. Are we responsible for actually making the change a success? Do we have deliverables tied into our specific work plan against that change? Or are we just the ones going off and executing it? It's so important when you start a change initiative or a change effort, you get great clarity on those roles and responsibilities. One of them being those across the organization responsible for managing that change. Now, as we think about management, let's dive into the tactical responsibilities for a change management leader. All right, so let's get tactical about this, right? As you think about those who are responsible for managing the changes, here are some of those tactical responsibilities you need to be mindful of and ensuring you're assigning people in the organization to do this. So these are things like understanding what are the key milestones moving through the change and what does success mean at each one of those milestones. These individuals are also responsible for understanding the risks moving forward, communicating those risks up and throughout the organization, as well as being in tune with what help is required to make the change successful. Now, these roles can be found across many different functions or organizations around the organization. And in my work with leaders of every industry vertical all over the world, I found a lot of value in assigning these more tactical responsibilities to people who are both directly and indirectly impacted by the change. When you can get everyone in the organization kind of singing from the same sheet of music and actually directly tied in to the success of that change, it's going to help reduce the friction and help you move through that change journey better. So make sure that some of those tactical responsibilities are not only given to the organization directly impacted by the change, but also some of those indirect stakeholders across other functions or groups in the business. Are you digging this content? If you are, make sure you like, subscribe, and even click the notification. I do videos like this all the time. So please click notification so that when a new video drops, you're gonna get notified and you're gonna be one of the first to see it. All right, now let's get back into it. So now that you've gotten crystal clear on those tactical responsibilities and assigned people in the organization to own those responsibilities, let's think about what's been missing in the whole conversation around who owns, who manages change. And I want to talk about a very clear delineation. So those folks who have responsibility tactically for ensuring the success of the change, so who know the key milestones, who've defined the success criteria, who are understanding the risks, who are communicating help requests, those are all your change management folks, right? Those are your change management leaders. But the people who own the change, who own making that change happen, that's everyone's responsibility. Strive to make sure there is some kind of tie-in to the success of that change to everyone's work plan, whether they're directly or indirectly impacted. And that deliverable could be as simple as making sure they're aware of the change that's happening across the organization. When you can get everyone bought into the fact that they have a part in owning that change and the success of it, then you have more motivation. You have more momentum to move forward in that change successfully. So again, you have a certain amount of individuals in the organization that are going to be responsible for tactically managing that change, making sure it's successful, communicating out to the organization. But everyone in the organization has responsibility to making that change a success. They all own making that change successful. So now that we've reviewed who's responsible for managing change and the difference between managing versus owning the success of a change initiative, I've got something else for you. I want to share with you a free chapter from my best-selling book, Change Enthusiasm: How to Harness the Power of Emotion for Leadership and Success. Specifically, I want to gift you with a chapter all about defining our relationship with change. It's rich with a lot of exercises and worksheets to help you understand what is the role that you play in a given change initiative, and what's a part of that role, the things that you need to be thinking about for your particular role in change. I want to make sure that you have the research, the data, and the insights to successfully grow through even your most challenging change initiatives. I'm Cassandra Worthy, and until we meet again, keep growing and keep rocking.